You know what I said in my lengthy opening that I wanted to talk about who I thought the 10 best horses are this year, and I'm so worried because I know I'm going to get an email saying, "Oh yeah, what about this horse?" And I'll be like, "Jesus, yeah, you're right. You're 100% right." And I keep looking over this, saying, "Am I missing? Am I missing somebody? Who am I missing? Who's it going to be? Why didn't I talk about this horse?" My list was 26. You imagine having 26 horses that you believe could make or would make a top 10 list of the entire stable last year. You know who they are, right? You know who the top 4 or 5 are. But let's get right to it. I do want to talk. There are some honorable mentions. I felt bad. I couldn't get Tailgate Buzz or Nothing But a Dreamer on the list. Right? They could have made a list. Pretty nice horses. Yes, who's been a stalwart. Didn't have a great 2022. Who's been a stalwart of ours. Just a great horse. Unbeatable Kemp will be. Obviously not on the list. I can't give him because he will be. Slim Jimmy left. He's not on the list. Bomb Hugger left. Sweet on Pete. Purple Aura. Those horses are good horses too. Not better than the 10. I don't think they are. Patrick. You guys know how much I love LD's Patrick. He's terrible right now. But he didn't make the list. So I'm going to get right to it. Number 10, Austral Hanover. How can't Austral Hanover be on the list? And for those of you saying Nothing But a Dreamer and Tailgate Buzz, hold on. They're not ahead of Austral Hanover. I know that Nothing But a Dreamer might have made more money and won his grassroots final, but so did Austral Hanover. And he actually raced in the gold, just like Nothing But a Dreamer did, although he did it twice, I think, Nothing But a Dreamer. I think when push comes to shove, very similar horses. I just felt that week in and week out, race to race, Austral Hanover was a more dominant force. And maybe that's unfair as I say that. It's so close. Very, very similar, those horses. You put any one of those three, I think, at 10. I put Austral Hanover. Maybe it's because I'm a little biased. I drove them all year. Maybe that's why. Maybe subconsciously, that's what took place here. Is that maybe Dreamer is a better horse, and I picked Austral Hanover. I know they're very close. Number 9, Swinging Senorita. How good was our year when our number 9 horse on my list won over $200,000, won the Next Generation, took a mark of 56 as a 2-year-old trotting filly, was one of the best fillies in the state. That's how strong our list is. That's how good of a year we had at thestable.ca. Swinging Senorita comes in at number 9 because I think 8 were ahead of her. And it's unfair because you know that the 3 PA Colts were ahead of her. And I guess that's unfair, but they all had arguments. And I'm going to explain all of them right now. Spitfire Overseas, you might say, come on now, Spitfire Overseas. Spitfire Overseas looked to me that if he didn't put those couple of steps in coming out of the turn, we might have been in the winner's circle. Now, I was in the car on my way home from Indiana, so I wouldn't have been in the winner's circle, but you would have. Spitfire Overseas looked very, very good in the Breeders' Crown Final, and it looked to me like he has, of all the horses we have that might come forward in 2023, I'm going to vote him most interesting prospect of 2023. It's not even a thing, but I just did it. Spitfire Overseas was amazing last year, and I think he's going to have a big year this year. He's behind Carter Michael Dio because he did have a good year. A winner in the Consolation, raced well. How good is he if it's just 1 day difference and we were able to put him on Lasix and James can remove him in the Wellwood elimination, which he should have, instead of sitting him in because he was worried about him bleeding and then running up on top of the horse in front of him making a break. How good could his year have turned out? Carter Michael Dio is a horse we're all very interested in as a sophomore. And speaking of sophomores, I actually put 2 horses in this slot because it would be unfair. Resolute Bay is a little bit better than Renegade Gypsy. Will he be forever? I don't know. I think he beat him once or twice too. Gypsy's a nice horse, but Resolute Bay is just that tenacious, I'm going to do it almost in spite of you type of attitude. You know, even James, who continually all throughout the year said he's okay, but is he good? And then even he had to wear him down saying, yeah, he's not the prettiest trotter, but I'll tell you what, he's tenacious. He is a very, very good horse. And he is. Renegade Gypsy, big, powerful colt. I think if you put them on the spot now, Resolute Bay is a better horse. Now, who's going to be the better horse as a 4-year-old? I don't know. Both of them are very similar in very, very different ways. And I think both of them, I snuck one in on Mike. I can't not mention Gypsy. So I put Resolute Bay at number 6 because I thought he belonged there. Number 7. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, 1. Yeah. 6, Resolute Bay. Number 5, Crantini, not just because of what he did this year, but what he almost did this year. He left a lot of money on the table. He left a lot of what appeared to be speed in the tank, and not out of his attitude, just making breaks and being stupid. But man, just a very, very nice 2-year-old. For the first 3 legs of the Sire Stakes in Pennsylvania, he looked untouchable. Yeah, Tetrick's horse picked him off at the Poconos, and he looked good. But he just looked so, so good those first 3. Just a really, really nice horse. And I'll be honest, the top 4 spots belong to aged horses. Because I don't know how long they'll be there. But I can tell you one thing. Quality animals. Patrick the Piranha in at number 4. Just an unbelievably good horse. How many times did you watch it? I remember the one day I watched him, like, he can't possibly win from there. And he did. At Plainridge. And then he come right back a few weeks later, and you're like, so he likes to sit at the back and kind of hunt and circle him. Okay, fine. Out of the 8-hole, 25-4 the first quarter, and win. Then all year, raced good. Made that break in PEI, but we all know why. The horse was doing wheelies in the paddock, in the infield. He was completely lost his mind. And that's why he had made the break, and that's why he probably wouldn't have been any good if he hadn't have made a break. Paced outside of his first win, I think, in North America. I believe that was the second fastest mile he's ever paced in his life. At least the fastest one for us, I guess, is the fairest way to put it. In Dayton the other day. This is on the 28th of December. Paced 49-2, 3, 1, something like that. Very, very good horse. Number 3, Sintra. Number 3, Sintra. Horse that I won the Gold Cup with. A horse that won the Open Pace in Ontario, right here at Mohawk. Was a multiple winner in sub 50 at the Meadows. Just such a good horse. And it just underscores the year we had when I'm putting a horse that seemed bionic. And he is a special horse. I don't know if I've ever driven a horse like him in my life. Now, I haven't driven the horses that Mark has, or even James has, to be honest. I don't know that I've ever driven a horse like Sintra. Probably one of the coolest horses I've ever seen in my life. What he did in PEI, how he did it. It's just so matter of fact. He's just that's how he made $1.6 million in Mark of 47. Yeah. Number 2, Locatelli, not just for what he did here, but what he will do in the future. Sintra's already been there, done that. He was an O'Brien Award winner, very good horse, and Locatelli may never get the accolades he had, but he's got the world in front of him. And to look at what Locatelli was able to do was unbelievable. Won in December, 50-4, equaled the track record that was held by 2 other horses, both of which took it in the summer, in the heat. He did it on a freezing cold night. Locatelli is a tremendous animal, and the trip he went the other day was great too. First start on a 5/8 mile track. Maybe he wasn't sure of himself, and that bugger that beat me with Kings County picked me off in the same way. Just an incredible trotter. And speaking of incredible trotters, I don't think we've ever had a better horse in Kings County. Now, he might have won faster. Locatelli might have won faster. And he's got a couple of years to go. It's Kings County 6, I believe. But Kings County set the track record in Scioto 51-4, 5/8 mile track. Set the track record 52-2 at Dayton, 5/8 mile track. I don't know how many races he won this year. More than 10 for sure. And just looks unbelievable every time he was on the track. Trips he goes are incredible, and it's just turned into an unbelievable horse. For a horse, I think we paid 70-some thousand for him, and he rung up $220 this year. And although it isn't about money, it is tied to winning. It is tied to doing good, and to have a horse that is that good, to have a group of horses. Keep in mind, number 10, Austral Hanover. Anybody would love to have that horse in their barn. Anybody. You look at the meat of the order. We didn't even talk about Una Madonna. Was never beat for us. She was never beat. She won here for James in the Wind. I won the stake with her, and we sold her after she was unbeaten for us, and almost $1 million we got for her, Canadian. When you put it in print, it's astonishing what we've been able to do. You know, you might look at yourself, you might look at what we put in the opening, about how we were the beacon in the dark, in the fog, people might say. It's so corny. Aren't we? Think of all the stables over the last 8 years. All the big stables, all the medium-sized stables, all the B-track and small stables. And show me ones that have grown. A B-track stable that is now a world-class stable. Anyone. Just show me one. We have come from, I was going to say obscurity, but it's even more than that. We had nothing. We started with nothing. Just what I considered a good idea and some people that wanted to play along. We turned that idea into one of the strongest stables in North America. Now, hold on. I'm not saying we're stronger than Burke. I'm not saying we're Alanya or Tactor. I didn't mean it like that. What I meant was year in and year out, we're constantly growing. We are, volume-wise, one of the biggest buyers of yearlings in North America. That's what we are. What we've been able to do is almost unexplainable. And if it wasn't right in front of everyone, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, they could say it was unexplainable. But the fact that you only have to click on an app, a button, to find out exactly how it took place, well, that's on them, not us. It's been an unbelievable year. That top 10 list means nothing. It just goes to show exactly what we have in the barn. Just a tremendous group of animals. So for me, for my family especially, what you've allowed us to do in an industry we loved, it's incredible. So, Happy New Year, everybody. I truly mean it. You should have a Happy New Year, because this has been a happy year for all of us. Take care.